I'm here to put the case for Jane as the best queen of Henry VIII. She was number 3 out of 6. And if you know anything about Henry and his wives, you probably don't think much of Jane. You probably think she was a bit of a washout. She was very pale. She had this big bulgy forehead and a double chin, which you can see in the portraits by Holbein. And worse than that, she had the character of being a bit goody-goody, a bit passive. Her motto was to serve and obey, for heaven's sake. But I'm going to persuade you that Jane was a dark horse, and actually she was playing a very clever game. Let me tell you that when Henry died, he said on his deathbed that Jane had been the one that he'd been happiest with. She was the one who he thought was the best queen, and they're buried together at Windsor. So let me give you some evidence of Jane's cleverness. She was a real survivor. She survived life as a lady-in-waiting, first to Catherine of Aragon, and then to Anne Boleyn. And when the king's eye fell upon her, she made him wait, and she refused to get betrothed to him until the day after Anne Boleyn had been executed. And once she was queen, she was very meek, very mild. She didn't intrigue, she didn't have factions. She just said yes to Henry the whole time. And you might think this is wimping out, but I think Jane was surviving here again. And then she did the best thing of all. She really fulfilled the Queen's job description in giving birth to a male heir. At last, Henry's first one. It took place here in this room, we think. And when Henry picked up the baby for the first time, he wept. He was that pleased. And then Jane did the cleverest thing of all. The labour had lasted for 2 days and 3 nights. It must have been awful. And then she was sick for 12 days, and then she died. She was only 28, but she died at this point, which means that her reputation is intact. So, vote for Jane. She is the best.